So let's start off with the basics, right? AI has been around a long time, right? We've thought about AI. It's basically the idea of some type of device mimicking human intelligence. Anything from the most advanced computer system in the world to something as simple as a handheld game you had 15, 20 years ago. If it's mimicking that it's intelligent, acting like it's intelligent, all right, even though it may not be, all right, that is. So it's a really broad scope of things, right? And that's kind of what we had for a long time. The idea of AI goes way back. We look at some 40s, we had Turing and some of these other guys. And it was largely kind of theoretical. We had some very basic things. But around the 80s, it really started to come to fruition. This is when machine learning. So what is machine learning? Machine learning is kind of important, right? With machine learning, we kind of tell the computer, like say you're monitoring stocks, we tell the computer, hey, watch, the rate of increase or watch some of the different financial indicators, MACD or whatever. You kind of watch those and you can start modeling things, okay? This was being done in the 80s and 90s and so on, but this is relatively simple, does not require a lot of compute power, right? Even some of the stuff we're still doing today, where we're trying to go ahead and do some k-means clustering to find groupings and stuff, would fall into that machine learning category, all right? Versus go ahead and fall into the next category. The next category is where people get excited, right? Now, this next category is, we're going to take a look at, really kind of required a couple things. With deep learning, we have achieved different ways to come about a solution. We have a few components to make deep learning work. The first is big data. We have to have a lot of big data, right? About 8-10 years ago, that was all over the news. Big data, right? And then big data with analytics. But big data is a huge component. But the magic part of this is called a neural network. With a neural network, we can feed in massive amounts of data, run it through this neural network where it's trying to go ahead and adjust billions of little parameters, right? Different weights through the neural network until by chance, well, it's going to go ahead, at first by chance, but eventually it's going to come out with a solution that's highly accurate, all right? And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to go ahead. It's going to start off when we first start what we call training, or we're teaching the deep learning algorithm. It doesn't do very well, but over time, as it starts to go through iterations, all right, it's going to make changes. As it gets closer and gets a higher percentage right, it's going to keep kind of changing in that direction. And so that is really what is cool. So deep learning involves neural networks and big data. Why is it important to know the difference? Well, if you want to do deep learning, that's where you start seeing these giant computers. You see the GPUs coming in from companies like NVIDIA, because they have so many little teeny tiny cores. Because remember, GPUs had to calculate all the little pixels on the screen, millions and millions of pixels, and they are great for going ahead and processing millions and billions of these calculations for a neural network. So those are kind of our big three. More recently, the one that's got a lot of people's attention, and some people would consider it another category, all right, is we start taking a look at generative AI that can actually generate content, whether that content's music, art, or of course, most famously, chat. And that's kind of another level. It is still deep learning, but specifically generative AI is a subset. And with that subset, we go ahead and we start seeing things getting created. This has a lot of people excited, a lot of people nervous, right? But these are our three big categories: AI, machine learning, and deep learning. So maybe a subset in deep learning for our generative AI. Thank you.